So I've had a lot of changes in my body happen, and I really wanted to go more into depth because in part they're changes based on the good and bad things that have happened with my health over the last year basically in particular, and as well as my testosterone, being that I just celebrated my 3 years on testosterone. So I wanted to go over these changes. The first I'll start with being health changes. So the most obvious being that I lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight, but mostly I burned a lot of fat, and I did it very quickly and not in a way that I would have liked, being that a number on a scale really is just a number on a scale, and if you want to talk about actual health and ways to become healthier or even to burn fat, not being able to eat wouldn't be one of them. Not in my opinion, I'm not a doctor, but I definitely know that I need to be eating and consuming nutrients, and my body stopped working because I wasn't able to. I have gastroparesis, which means that my digestion works in delayed comparison to most others. For me specifically, 4 hours. We've actually done testing to find out exactly how long it takes, and it takes literally 4 to 5 hours for me to digest something more than anyone else. So yeah, it's difficult, and I've had to totally change my lifestyle in order to change my metabolism and make it so that way I can eat and consume nutrients. Now I eat every 2 hours. I eat much smaller portions, and I stopped focusing on dieting or different diets, and I stopped focusing on eating what doctors and different people were telling me to eat, and I went with what my body actually wanted me and told me to eat. What I mean by that is I went and I started with the only diet that I started with was an elimination diet. So I wasn't able to eat anything, and so I took the opportunity to, I didn't have to go through the elimination diet in the sense of starting with going from eating, then not eating things, and then adding them in. I was already not eating. So I just started from there, and I slowly started to play with different foods to see how my body would react. It turned out things that doctors were telling me not to eat, like carbs, were actually really great for me, and now I eat actually a lot of carbs. I eat a lot of whole grains, and I would say that my diet is almost primarily carbs at this point. I definitely even eat more vegetables, and I crave more vegetables now more than I ever did. So I've really been in my transition focusing a lot within my physical and my mental health, and it's taken a full scope and a full change of many, many different elements in order for me to get to a point where I feel I'm getting healthier, like much healthier than I have been in a long time, and eventually I think that I will be healthier than I've ever been. Excuse me, there we go, coughing there. Yeah, showing all my health. No, but I've been making all of these changes, and I don't think I've ever disclosed my weight. And again, as I said, a number is not something that I focus on, and I don't think that a number is a proper representation as to someone and how healthy they are. You can't even look at someone and just immediately determine truly how healthy they are. You don't know whether they're a chronic sufferer. They could be a bodybuilder and still be in an enormous amount of pain. Then I bet if you ask them if they felt healthy, they might tell you otherwise, even though they might look healthy. So, but basically from, I believe, October 2018, I was weighing at that point, I think, around 165 pounds. And now with clothing on, today I weigh out at like 121.6. So I probably weigh about 119 pounds. And it fluctuates, but I've spent 45 of those first pounds easily, losing them in a way that wasn't healthy. I wasn't able to keep food down. I wasn't able to keep in nutrients. My body literally was shutting down. My organs, one after another, they were fed up with me, and I was not able to move or do anything. My whole body was out of balance. So everything that I do is really around forming a balance between my body, mind, and my soul, including my transition, which leads me to the majority of the other changes, which are hormonal changes. So the first thing that I'll talk about is my vocal range. I actually feel like my voice is about to drop again, which I truthfully wasn't sure if it was going to do. I definitely stopped thinking about it for quite some time because I wanted to start to live in the moment and actually try to really hear my own voice. I know that seems kind of silly because one can just like rewatch a video and hear themselves, but there's a level of dissociation with the dysphoria that makes it so that way I wasn't ultimately really hearing my voice, and I didn't really want to hear my voice because I didn't like my voice. It didn't feel like me. It had nothing really to do at a certain point. It really didn't have anything to do with like effeminate or masculine. It really didn't matter. It just didn't feel like me. And then as it started to change, it started to just feel really weird and not like me at all because I wasn't used to it. But my voice kind of landed for a while, and I would say probably, if I had to guess, I'm at like age 16 of my second, puberty round that I'm going through. So it's definitely possible that my voice can change. I'm having a lot of symptoms that I get before my voice has changed in the past. One of the things is that I just I'm, as you can hear, getting over kind of a little allergy, cold sort of thing. I didn't really get sick in the sense that I felt really sick. Like I was showing symptoms in that my throat was really sore and I was coughing and I was a little congested and I was, blowing my nose, and for all intents and purposes, one could have looked at it and said, oh, this person's having either an allergy attack or a cold. But the difference was that normally with an allergy attack or a cold, I would just feel absolutely sore and exhausted. And I kind of already felt those things before, and it didn't really feel like there was any change. It just didn't feel like that. It felt like something different. And it was very short-lived also is the other thing, because when I get colds, they usually turn into sinus infections, bronchitis, and this, that, and the other, and it's a whole ordeal for weeks and weeks, and I only had symptoms for a matter of maybe 5 or 6 days, which for me is nothing at all. I was able to pretty much eliminate working out for a day, and then, I just slowly started working myself back up, and I was still doing other activities. I still worked my first event, so it really didn't hold me back. So I really think that's more related to that, as well as the fact that my voice is fluctuating. Sometimes it will get really, really deep, and other times it will get a little bit higher, and then it sort of settles in. Usually these are the types of different things that happen before my voice drops. So I'm excited because I like having a deeper voice, and I wouldn't mind it going a little deeper. I feel like it just fits me more and makes me more confident, and then that makes me present in a certain way that people are able to take me a little bit more seriously, which is great since I look really, really young and I'm only 5'4". So it definitely helps with that issue. Other things that have changed mainly are my hair. My hair texture on my head is entirely different. It is more oily, it is more wavy and curly at times, as you can see. I have very minimal product in my hair, and it's really just kind of keeping it calmer than what it would normally be. So it's interesting. My hair is also more silver than ever. I don't know if you can tell within the camera and the light. If I you can sort of see that all of that shimmer is happening because of the silver in my hair. I actually really like it. What I freak out about periodically is hair thinning or losing hair. But what I notice with body hair all around throughout the transition that I've been going through is really that it changes, and when I lose hair, it doesn't always mean that it's permanently gone. Sometimes it just means that it's changing and it's coming back in a totally different way. So I definitely felt like for a while I was losing a lot of hair and I was totally freaking out. And I think that was definitely ramping up my stress and therefore making me lose even more hair. But I think it actually just meant that it was growing and changing. I definitely have a little bit of like loss and thinning out and receding, but ultimately I think it has calmed down. I do take finasteride still. I used to get super, super, super itchy. It took a really long time, I think, for me to adjust and adapt. I do get itchy now and again, but ultimately that's calmed down, and I take about 1 milligram of that each day, and it definitely helps. So that, and just manifesting having great hair and taking good care of my hair. I also stopped like washing it and as obsessively, and using a lot gentler products over time, so that definitely helped. My facial hair has entirely changed. It's getting coarser, it grows back faster. I do shave it actually fully sometimes, and I trim it. It is growing. My sideburns are growing in more and more. So like I shaved super recently, but they're normally just a matter of like, maybe an inch and a half or two away from connecting. The hair is definitely moving up and it's all the way back and down to here, and it's starting to fill in a little bit. My mustache I shaved recently and it was finally starting to grow in, and now it's taking forever again. So I'm working on patience with that, but I'm happy with what I have. Better than nothing for me personally. And there are individuals who will not have a voice change, or that they'll have to work at it more manually and sort of like teach themselves to naturally have a deeper voice or a higher voice. And some may never grow facial hair, and some may have to laser it off. So everyone is different, everyone's experience is different, and I'm someone that wants facial hair, so I always welcome it. My body hair overall, I have much more hair on my legs, but I'm wearing pants right now, so you wouldn't be able to tell, but I have posted recent pictures. I've had experiences where my hair on my legs disappears overnight and then grows back in a matter of 2 days with a lot more hair. It's definitely curlier, and actually what interests me is that although hair comes genetically on the female side, I actually feel like my hair is, even my leg hair, is very much representative of my dad's. In the amount, in how like curly it is, the silvering. I mean, I've been going silver since I was 12, so and it's more all the time, and I definitely am owning it, especially with how young I look, so I don't mind it. I just want to keep the hair. Personally, I'm trying to hold on to hair as much as I can. I've loved my hair. My hair's always been a vice for me, and sorry, I got distracted because I saw suddenly there are weights in here. I think my brothers from Once Upon a Time. They might have been mine. I don't know. Back on track. Body odor, can't not talk about that. Body odor has entirely changed. I have to shower once to twice a day, ideally, and I have to use sensitive deodorant because I have very sensitive skin, and I do get acne around the face, although my skin is doing pretty well right now. I get painful cysts on the back of my neck and on my back. Those are definitely real. Hair everywhere else of my body grows however it wants, and I just have to manage and maintain it. But I accept that these are pieces of me now, and I love most of the change that's happening. The muscle tone, the ability to grow muscle faster, to speed up my metabolism with my eating and everything, and just the full scope. I mean, this is already a long video, but I'll do other videos more on those topics of my eating and what I'm doing for exercise and things like that. But today is the first day where I looked in the mirror and I thought that I feel more confident in general, period, like at all, is huge for me. So to feel comfortable to a certain degree and confident to a certain degree is a huge leap for me. I've really put the work in. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't just happen with hormones, and it's been a really long road, but I only am what feels like a part of the way there. But I am now like entering this new huge chapter, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. So today is March 14th, 2019, and I'll see you in the next one.